Hi, I'm Helena from the Indoor Outdoor Garden in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. My husband and I started our nursery back in 1974. We were just kids in college, and our hobby was plants. We educate our customers here at the nursery, and we sell everything from hydroponics, indoor plants, outdoor plants, our own homemade soil, fertilizers, pots. Most importantly, again, we educate our customers. I hope that you follow me so you can learn all the things that I have learned over the years, my success and my failures. Thank you. Hi, my name is Helena from Indoor Outdoor Gardener, and welcome to our nursery. And many of our customers have asked me to please make a YouTube on growing seeds the best way, and that's what I'm going to do now. There are many, many different ways of starting seeds. I'm going to be showing you two ways that I like to do, but then I'll also show you my favorite way. First, this is my favorite way. This here is called a Jiffy 7. It's a peat pellet. It's compressed peat moss held together by a netting, which is all organic. What you do is you take these peat pellets and you put them in a tray. I put Super Thrive in the water. Super Thrive is a hormone. Started in 1940. I've been using it excuse me, since my college days. I use it with my fertilizer and my cocktail. It's fantastic, fantastic. So I put in some, which I already have put. I put a half a capful into this half gallon of water. And what I do is, if you want to come a little closer, I add water to the peat pellet, and it's never ice cold water or hot, just slightly tepid. And what happens is the peat pellet will slowly soak up the water, and it'll go from light brown to dark brown. Also, at the same time, when you do put it in, you always put it in with the indentation facing up. And this takes about 3 minutes, and this is a fabulous, fabulous way of growing seeds, especially with children and for teachers, to show them, because it's an all hands-on. Everything is hands-on here. So here it is turning dark brown, and it's nice and wet. And what I do is I make a little, let me just get anything pointy. I make a little indentation, maybe halfway down by your fingernail. If you go too far down, it'll take a very long time for the seed to come up, and perhaps maybe it will never come up. This is still, you can see here it's getting a little dark, and we'll show you this when it's finished. You can use anything to grow seeds in. Professionally, what I do is I put approximately 50 of the peat pellets into this tray, because I'm doing this, I want to do a lot at one time. And then once it's finished, I use a dome that has openings that if there's too much moisture, I can open it up. And the purpose of the dome is to keep the moisture in, so I don't have to worry about things drying out. So remember, with the peat pellet, this is what it's like, the compressed peat moss, before you add the water and Super Thrive, and this is what it looks like when you put it into the tray. So let's get back now to putting the seeds in, and the best place to put them, the lighting, and all the other little things. Seeds do not need light to germinate. They like bottom heat. I use a professional heating mat underneath here. Don't use the radiator, and don't use a heating pad. If you don't have one, try putting it on top of a cable box. I took, a couple of years ago, I tried it on top of a cable box with these little openings and with saran wrap, and it did work because it got the bottom heat. So let's go back now. Don't want to use such a big tray, which I'm sure most of you don't. There are things that you can do very simply. Let me put the excess water back. I don't, because it has Super Thrive, so I don't waste anything. And what you can do is put the pellets here like this, and you can get in, let's see, actually you could put 10 in here. So if you do this, you get a low saucer, and then you get the high saucer. Then if you're short on money, or for whatever reason, you can also use something like this. Here it is. But you get your salads in. This will act like a greenhouse also, and you could put them in here. And then if you want to go even smaller, you can use something like this. Okay, now let's go to the next step. I want to show you now how I put the seeds in. This seed packet is from Italy. It's called Frankie seeds, and in this package there must be about 1,000 seeds. And then I also have organic seeds over here. The price of this is $2.19. It's already pre-marked. The price of this is $5.99, but you get 1,000 seeds in here versus 400 seeds. So whatever you want. Please make sure when you start the seeds, you look on the back to where it says sprouts. It says here 7 to 21 days. When I use my heating mat underneath, it's usually like 4 to 5 days. So I'm going to open up the package, and as I said before, you want to make a little indentation about half the size of your fingernail. I shake the seeds to the bottom, and I'm going to open it up. And this is how I put the seeds in. Believe it or not, this took me so many years to learn. But like everything else, you learn by experimenting and doing over and over. Don't, when you pour the seeds out, don't pour them out on this line because they can get stuck over here. So what I do is very gingerly, patiently, I go like this. I can even count the seeds, how much I put in, how many I put in. It's up to you how many seeds you want to put in. You could put in 5, 6, 7, you could put 10 in. And then I'll show you later if you put that many seeds in, how you can separate them. So here, I'll see how many I'll put in. Okay, now, if you watch what I'm doing, can you see here? The seeds are coming out, here they are. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and now I cover the opening. The seeds are about this far down in the peat pellet. The seeds are about this far down, and then since the peat moss now is wet, I just cover it. Okay, so I could do this with all of them, and then what's very important is it's very important to label. Let's say you're growing different types of herbs or flowers, whatever. You must write down today's date, which is February 23rd, and the name of the seed. If you don't do that, and it says here sprouts within 7 to 21 days, and you're up to day 35, then you know you've done something wrong. Then you're going to have to start all over again. Please remember, you can always add the water, but you cannot take it away. So how do I know when to water these guys? The color is nice dark brown. When they start to get light brown, that's when I water them. When they start to get light brown, I add water with the Super Thrive into the saucer. The peat pellet will soak up the water with the Super Thrive. If there's any excess water, I take it out and I cover it. Again, cable boxes on top of a cable box is super, super easy. This is what it looks like. This was done maybe a year or two ago, where the roots are coming out the bottom. Remember I said that this is held, the peat moss is held together with the netting. When this gets a very strong root system, because the stronger the root system, the stronger the plant, then I will put this either in the ground if it's the time to do it, or if I'm putting it in a pot, I'll go into no more than a 4-inch pot, and this will decompose. Isn't that beautiful? Now I want to show you this picture. Okay, this is basil, and you can see how many stems came up. And what I did was, when the peat pellet was on the dry side, I was able to separate them, again, patiently, and then again, I put this in. This is a 3-inch pot, and they're ready to go. Isn't that beautiful? So that's one way, and again, my way of growing seeds, my favorite way. But I'm not Miss Know-It-All. This is my way, as I said before. It's just like two people going into the supermarket and looking for plum tomatoes to make the marinara sauce. And let's say I'm with my daughter and she says, "Ma, I like this brand." I say, "No, honey, I like my brand." She says, "But my brand is the best." I say, "No, my brand is the best." Whatever works for you, use it. Let me show you another way of doing it. This is with using a seed starter mix. And a seed starter mix is extremely, extremely light. I really wish you can feel it. It's extremely light. Seeds want air just like roots want air. The lighter the soil, the better. And this is mixed with some perlite in it and peat moss. and a little bit of earthworm castings. So what I do is I fill the little tray with the soil, which is dry, all the way to the tippy top. Okay, and then I level it off. I put a little bit too much in, so I'm going to just take some out. Okay, and then when you water, of course, the soil level will go down. This also has the Super Thrive in it, in the water. And remember, you can always add the water, but you can't take it away. Please don't use a watering can or anything where the water will come out quickly. Use a mister because you just want to make the soil barely damp. So I'm giving it some nice spritz. I repeat myself, I'm an ex-teacher, so forgive me. The soil has to be just slightly damp, where when you put your finger in, you can make the little cavity. No, I should wear gloves, but there's nothing like putting your fingers into the light soil. It's just so beautiful. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some seeds in, and again, halfway down by your fingernail. 1, 2, I'm not counting anymore. And hopefully in 10 days you'll be able to see 2 sets of leaves. And again, we have to cover it, cover the seeds. It's really very simple. Well, I guess anything is simple once you know what you're doing. Now, for covering it, you can use something like this to cover it. You can use saran wrap, anything, but with this especially it has to be covered because the top of the soil is going to dry out 1, 2, 3. So when you're using a seed starting mix, you must cover it. And just to go over it again, you're going to put the soil in, you're going to mist it, you're going to put the seeds in, make the cavity, a little opening, put the seeds in, cover it, and then put the dome on top. And then again, use a cable box. Seeds, again, do not need light to germinate. Once they do germinate, put them in a bright spot, but not direct sun. And when you get 2 or 3 sets of leaves, I want you to pinch back. And when that happens, when we're ready for that, I'll be able to show you. So I hope that you enjoyed my lesson about seed starting. And if you have your own way of doing it, whatever works for you is fine. You should start to fertilize when you get approximately the 2nd or 3rd set of leaves, but I use half the strength. There are organic fertilizers and there's non-organic. When you put them outside, I strongly urge you to use the organic fertilized plant tone. But we'll get to that once these are about up to here. Okay, thank you again. This is Helena from Indoor Outdoor Gardener in Bay Ridge. Please visit us on our website or Instagram or Facebook. All my pictures have captions of everything. And if you need any advice whatsoever, please don't hesitate to call or come in. Our phone number is 718-836-2402. Or you can bring the plant in or a picture. We're always here to educate, and there's never a charge. Again, thank you and happy seed planting.